Welcome to episode 2 of LinkedIn with Louise Brogan. Today, the 500 person strategy. You know what I love about my LinkedIn network? It's actually full of people that I like. When I log in, I see posts from a pharma consultant in Cork, a leadership coach in Australia, a leadership coach in Texas, a retail expert in London. These are not random connections. They are my people and I enjoy having conversations with them. What I would love for you to do is build your network too, and that's what today's episode is all about. So let's be honest, your current network is probably a mess, which is actually part of the issue and probably why you don't actually really enjoy using LinkedIn. There's the people who were in your old job 10 years ago. Now, I don't want you to disconnect from them because when you're posting all your brilliant, amazing content by the end of the group program, they may meet somebody else who needs the services that you have, and you will become top of mind for those people and become very referable. So don't disconnect from people unless they are rude or offensive in some way, and in which case absolutely disconnect with them, report them even if you need to. But people from your old job 10 years ago, so you're like, I'm not really interested in what these guys are talking about. Random sales people, we all have these, and you know what? Not half the time, maybe a fifth of the time, I have the optimistic thought that somebody is going to be genuine and just genuinely wants to connect with me on LinkedIn. And as soon as they send me a pitch in the DMs, I just remove the connection straight away. I don't even bother saying to them as to why I'm doing it. I just remove the connection. So the third kind of people in your network that you probably aren't interested in are people you don't even know how you connected with them in the first place. How are these people in your network? You don't even know. Why does this kill your LinkedIn experience? So when you go to LinkedIn, if you are not posting and engaging and commenting on people's content, LinkedIn doesn't know what to show you because it doesn't know what you're actually interested in. As a side note, whenever we work on people's profiles, so I'll do like workshops for a company and we go through someone's LinkedIn profile, when you type in, when you go to the skills section and click to add skills, take a second because LinkedIn will suggest skills to you and it's taking that based off everything it knows about you. So that's an easy way to see what LinkedIn thinks that you do if you are not actively engaging, connecting with someone. So do have a look at that and see, does that fit what you actually want to be known for and what you do? But what we want to do is build a network full of people that when we open our LinkedIn, we see connections and people you want to collaborate with or work with. We see their posts in the news feed, and when you engage with that, you're giving LinkedIn the signal that these are people that you want to hear from, okay? I'm going to give you permission right now to disconnect or remove connections from people you don't have any interest in. No one is notified if you remove connections. I prefer to unfollow people, but again, they're not notified either. I mean, if they go to look at your profile, they might see that you are suddenly a second level connection, in which case, if they are a detective, they can work out that you have removed the connection. But most people don't actually have that level of understanding of LinkedIn. For a quick win before the next episode, I want you to go in, look at your news feed, and if it's full of content from people you have no interest in, you don't even remember how they ended up in there, then just go to the 3 little dots at the top right hand corner of their post and click either I don't want to see this or unfollow. Now, when you do this for a while, your news feed becomes a bit messy while LinkedIn is figuring out what it is that you want to see. And I'm experiencing that at the minute because some of my very lovely connections have been posting random stuff that I'm not interested in. So I'm not unfollowing them, but I'm letting LinkedIn know that I'm not interested in this topic as opposed to this person. So you can say you're not interested in a topic, or you can unfollow the person. So clean up some of your connections, and I promise you, your newsfeed will improve. So let's talk about the 10 kinds of people I would like you to start trying to connect with. So potential clients. These are people that you think will be interested in and be able to use your products and services. It sounds really obvious, but when you connect with them, don't try and sell them anything because then you're going to become one of those annoying salespeople. Connect with them, see what content they are sharing, and start engaging with their content. Okay, they will then become more likely to see your content when you post. The second kind is the strategic connection, and I do this, I think, really well. So think about the people who work with your ideal clients. So for example, if I was coaching small business owners, then if I connected with accountants for small business owners and commented on their content, their network is going to be full of small business owners who are my ideal clients. So in other words, the people who are already working with your ideal clients. Number 3, the fun and interesting people. I mean, yes, it is here. We are here to build businesses, but also you want to have people in your feed who are interesting. I follow some thought leaders who talk about women in the workplace and women who have children in the workplace. And I enjoy reading their content. And LinkedIn knows that I enjoy it because, not because I'm engaging with it, but because of something called dwell time. So if someone has written a post and I spend time reading it, LinkedIn knows, the algorithm knows this is stuff that's interesting to me and shows me more of it. I don't even need to actually engage in that content for the algorithm to understand this is stuff that I'm interested in. Number 4, industry peers. People might think that's a bit odd, but I have lots and lots of people who help others with LinkedIn in my network. It keeps me up to date with what's going on with LinkedIn. I enjoy talking to other people who do similar work to me. And yes, we send each other work because, you know, you cannot be the only LinkedIn trainer in your entire country. And if you are, that's kind of sad. So hopefully you'll encourage someone else to come join you and chat to each other about it. Number 5 are thought leaders. So following people, so I follow quite a few YouTube experts because I have a YouTube channel and I enjoy learning from those people. So people who are in your industry or in your space who are sharing really interesting, valuable content that you can engage with and shows your network that you are keeping yourself up to date with stuff. Another group that I would be engaged with are thought leaders in AI. Because I enjoy their content, but also I'm learning from them and I am then able to share that learning with my network. Number 6, your former colleagues. Now I know we said in the last episode about clearing, people have a big fear about their former colleagues in their network, seeing what they're doing now. It's like, we're kind of like, it's in our psyche. We're kind of like, oh, I hope, I left that job. I don't want them to see what I'm doing now. But actually, these people know you. They know you well, and they know how good you are and how good you are at carrying out work. So I was thinking about this. I always give us an example as a barbecue, which is funny because with the weather in Northern Ireland, we don't have that many barbecues. But if you think about someone in your LinkedIn network is at a barbecue this Saturday and they're having a conversation with somebody who says, oh, we really need to get our LinkedIn profiles up to scratch, that something came up at work, and they're telling some kind of story, and this person who's your connection goes, oh, you need to speak to Louise Brogan. That's what she talks about on LinkedIn all the time. So people, your former colleagues, can become your biggest cheerleaders and champions. Journalists and LinkedIn news editors. So the LinkedIn news editors is a funny one because I've been contacted by them a few times in the last 12 months asking me to specifically to go and comment on content that they are creating and stories that they're creating. And I think it's a test case to become a LinkedIn top voice. And I obviously failed that test because I didn't become a LinkedIn top voice. And I don't really need to be a LinkedIn top voice. I mean, I don't need to be a LinkedIn top voice. It'd be nice, but I don't need to. It wouldn't impact my business or revenue, I don't think, that much. But it is interesting that they seem to be the people who select the next top voices. And if you don't know what a LinkedIn top voice is, they're the people with the blue badges beside their names. Interestingly, quite a few ex-LinkedIn ex-LinkedIn employees seem to get them as well. So, make of it what you will. All right, number 8, event organisers, and podcasters. So if you want to get speaking on stages or invited onto podcasts, then I suggest you connect and follow people who run events and organise podcast guesting or have guests on their podcasts. Hello, I am one. I'm much more likely to invite someone onto my podcast if I've been already having conversations in LinkedIn as opposed to getting cold pitches in my email inbox. Number 9, suppliers and service providers. So, like I said before, the small business example, I do LinkedIn training and workshops, but people will also ask me about video editing, or they'll ask me about email newsletters. And I have people in my network who I can instantly refer those people to. So do connect with people who you can send your clients and contacts to for to be of use. And number 10, mentors and coaches. So for me, again, if you are an entrepreneur, a coach, a consultant, a small business owner, following mentors and coaches a good example here might be someone like Daniel Priestley. So if you follow him, and Daniel Priestley is an author of many books, including Oversubscribed. So if you're following him, his content's pretty good. The people who are also following him might be people that you want to work with. So that's 10 kinds of people to connect with. So potential clients, strategic connections, fun and interesting people. So LinkedIn is enjoyable. Industry peers, they are your support system and you can learn from each other. Thought leaders, former colleagues who could turn out to be your biggest referral partners. Journalists and LinkedIn news editors. Event organisers, if you want some speaking gigs. Suppliers and service providers, and mentors and coaches. Now here's what I see people struggling with. They know who they should be connecting with, but they do not have a system for finding them, qualifying them, and actually starting conversations. And that's something I work with in people in our group program. Really simple, easy steps to find the right people and how to connect with them without coming across as sleazy or salesy, and how to build relationships with people, which really is what LinkedIn is all about. If you want to check out the next group program, go to the link in the show notes or go to louisebrogan.com and just look for the accelerator for our next starting date. So do you follow or connect with people? So you can send a connection request or you can choose to follow somebody. I would follow famous or well-known people and thought leaders. They are probably not going to engage with your content. Someone who has 100,000 followers is probably not going to engage with your content, but you might be interested in following along with them. Send a connection request to potential clients, peers, and collaborators. If you have people in your connections who are not going to become collaborators, potential clients, or are your peers, then you can be connected to those people, but then you can unfollow them so they remain in your network. I always like to send personal notes when I connect with somebody. I have got LinkedIn Premium, which allows me to do this pretty much unlimited. If you do not have the LinkedIn Premium account, then I suggest you connect with somebody, and once they accept your connection request, then you can send them a private message to say why you've connected with them, and usually relate it to something to do with their content, or maybe you've heard them on a podcast, that kind of stuff. Strategic connections. I want to tell you a little story now about Fiona. I've talked about Fiona on stage a few times. So she was a client of mine and she is a PowerPoint expert. So strategically, she was connecting with clients and people who would be interested in her products and services. So one of her clients had posted on LinkedIn that they were going through a business brand redesign. So she thought on her feet and she went and created a post saying, if your business is having a redesign, then don't forget to update your Microsoft suite of products with the same designs. And because she is active on LinkedIn and talks about PowerPoint and engages with her clients' posts, this client saw her post, reached out to her. They had a private message conversation, which led to Fiona travelling to their corporate headquarters in Dublin, and she walked away with a contract for €50,000. Not bad from posting on LinkedIn. The reality is, of course, that this is not a one and done. You know, Fiona did not win that business because she just popped onto LinkedIn that day. She is consistently showing up, talking about Microsoft PowerPoint, sharing tips and advice, and people see her as someone very easy to refer business to. It is ongoing work. Your network should evolve as your business evolves. In our group program, we look at building your network. I call it building a network of value. And one of the things I love doing actually is walking my my clients, the group members, through examples on how to do this. We only have 10 people in each group, so this is really easy to do. Build your networks together, and your action for this week is connect with 5 people this week, taking one of those 10 types of strategies. And if you don't have LinkedIn Premium, then once they connect with you, send them a personal message. And go check out the next date for our group program, because I would love to help you with this.